Innovative, revolutionary, stellar development, purest universal knowledge. In a transformative, futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding the essence of the new GAN's plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural, balanced, energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural, original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists and healthcare centres. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information.
You are people listening from every corner of this planet. No knowledge has been dispersed so beautifully, so balanced across the planet, on this planet ever, maybe in the universe. You have the full potential of achieving everything in the universe. There is no need and there is no reason for man not to achieve. So, wherever you are, the way I taught you to make the coils, double coil inside, you have continuous equal gravitational magnetic field, and if you put CO2 on it, and you put zinc on it, you have connected the emotion of the man to it on a stable condition, and you'll find out you become a very peaceful man. Here, instead of having galaxies and universes and creating connection magnetically, we have used the matter state gravitational magnetic field strength to dominate and dictate the shape of the plasma. The nanotechnology, the nanomaterial which you have collectively developed in different ways, by caustic, by electric currents, by whatever, fire or whatever, has that advantage that the matter, the nano and the plasma is all the same. So connection is very solid. It's very strong. The power of the plasma technology, the way we have thought, is beyond imagination of the man. Now you can create and control the plasma, which is the mother of the creation of the universe. You are given the seed of the essence of the creation. The foundation does not belong to no one and is not made of one anymore. You are developing it. You are structuring it. And from today, we will be still the same. We'll still develop the technology in different names, in different colors, in different nationalities which they do not exist. It is beautiful when we see the Christian, the Muslims, the Jews, and every other belief are working together to build up systems. We have already become one faith. We already have become one nation, and we already have become one planet. You got to remember one thing. Dates is irrelevant. Today is the last day of the Christian calendar, or tomorrow is the beginning of another. One day is connected to another. We don't stop. We are working round the clock. The Keshe Foundation team is working irrespective of time, position, religion, country. And now we achieve what we set out for.
Welcome everyone to the 307th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, December 19th, 2019. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammett. I'll be your host today along with Clint Mulhausen. And I think I hear Mr. Keshe ready to begin in the background. Hello, Mr.
Yes.
Keshe. You made
good morning,
it
good day to you.
To home base.
Yeah, we are home base. Yes, we're safe and sound somewhere, unless we get hit by the earthquake or whatever else. Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these series of knowledge seekers. This morning, we'll try, as usual, to do some little bit more, teach a little bit more, learn a little bit more, and see how far we can take the new dimensions of knowledge. As we promised you in the past few weeks, the Keshe Foundation web shop is opening up today. The head of Keshe Foundation Ella is in the background to tell us what is coming in. And we try to add 30 to something more, what you call items every month. This is our target. And at the same time, as we heard from different companies, different knowledge seekers who want to put their products online, we try as of next week or the week after to do this. Which means if you're producing anything and it is legally signed, somebody called certified, we will take the product and put it as a promotion with you if you want, or with Keshe Foundation, putting the material for you to promote you, to give you a better, what we call line of products. And at the same time, supporting the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers who over years have supported us. If, for example, you sell anything, don't look that they are selling Ganses from the Keshe Foundation in, let's say, Austria or in Arizona or in China. If you are in Brazil, if you are in Germany, if you are in any other part and you're making these, try to put them the same way, not as what do you call it, in the bottles, because one of the biggest problem is shipping liquids across borders. So if there are people in Germany who want to buy gases, they still come on the website. They can order your product. Then internally inside the country, you can ship liquids or other products people would like to support you or your work. We try to give you layer by layer, country by country, and different people. Don't get intimidated somebody else is doing it. We can do that for you. You can put your products. The arrangements with the foundation can be set up. I still sorry got the cold from last week. I haven't got rid of it yet. And this process will carry on. We support you to build up. We support you to, in a way, increase your product lines. In Brazil, some knowledge seekers showed us products they do. They've been supporting foundation for years. We said, why not? As long as it's correct, and if it needs certifications to certify it, it leaves it for your country. Be put in there for that nation. People like to buy your product. Why not? This is the time. Now that the whole structure of Keshe Foundation is moving in what we wanted to do, this is what we will do. Agricultural units, if you got any farming units, if you have any, don't look at it, I've got a machine so big, why not? We're selling the machines now for 150,000, $500,000 from January, why not yours? We support you. If you've got the idea, bring it in, we finance it, Keshe Foundation, we give it to our people, let's see how we can develop it, make it better or whatever, and we take over of trying to give you a position and a website which is yours, it belongs to humanity. It'll bring all the products of the worldwide plasma gas technology under one roof. This is our job. Now we have set it up for years. Now it gives it a full angle. Anybody goes to the website in the shop, they can see if they are in Brazil or they're in China, what they can order. Chinese will be the same. What we call in England, if you produce something, you want it to be there. Why not? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Ella, the head of Keshe Foundation, who's been behind this, to introduce the first series of products. We kept to our ethos with the first series of the products, 9 and 1999, which is 999 and 1999. We try to keep a lot of products under this bracket that it allows you to do. The shipping cost has been slashed beyond what it was before. We keep to this. We have one rule. These products will be delivered 1 or 2 pieces directly to customers. You cannot buy these through our, what used to be the distributors. We've seen, for example, what you have as a, what they call a foot patch or another part sold for €99, 199. These things are over. Keshe Foundation makes sure that all the products of Keshe Foundation will be sold at the prices we hold to the shop. All the distributors who used to take the products and triple it, quadruple it, we would not supply distributors because the Keshe Foundation Austria will operate under its own, has no contract with any distributors as of yet. Then the distributors works under our ethos. No one can use my name. I've seen some websites says this and Mr. Keshe. Do not use my name. We set in legal structure that any abuse of my name and the Keshe Foundation to promote to selling your products in a false way has to stop. In this process, we have no problem. We've seen some people especially use the name of doctor, or they have a PhD calling doctors, and they're trying to make use of that as their medical doctors. This cannot be done. We advise you to take these things off your website because you have to be correct. You're a doctor, you say which doctor in what subject, and do not use my name next to yours trying to promote that It's my work and my say what you want to do. These all will come to an end. In so many ways, the new website, the new shop is to promote all the products worldwide, but on the strength of the knowledge you gain and the products you have produced. We have created this platform, and this platform will be increased, extended extensively next year or two. And we have to keep to this way of work. And we have to make sure that all the knowledge seekers who supported the Keshe Foundation over years are in a way looked after. B, if you know other people who make things with the ganses, encourage them to bring it out. Just send it to Keshe Foundation. We organize warehouse depot, and then if it needs to be done, we can get it developed for you around the world and get it in a very direct way to wherever it can. It has to come under control, and the Keshe Foundation has taken this responsibility to bring worldwide GANS products under control in a way that we create a platform, and this gives you a platform to start making the changes in your what we call country or across the world. You come up, don't look at it. I've made a pillowcase with a GANS or with a special logo. It still has a room. It still needs to be developed. We will be part of the whole structure, retail groups, in a very different way in our product. Even if you are producing grocery, we're using the GANS. If you want to reach farmers through new products, use the Keshe Foundation. We support, and at the same time, we set up a technical group that can support you to make it better, to develop it in a more commercial way. Ella, are you there in the background?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to take over?
Yes, I will share the screen. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for being here. And I would like to thank our manufacturing team, which has been working for an extensive period of time to bring this product to life. And what is special about our products is that the way the team worked into embedding the GANS technology into the products to make them more effective and more suitable for the user is giving the benefits, the specialty for this product. So I will go one by one. I will explain very briefly for each of the products that we have currently published. We have about 20 new items in the store. All of them we have managed to offer a promotional value, as Mr. Keshe mentioned, for €9.99 or €19.99. As you will see, they are discounted for the whole period of 2020. So to start with, I will also want to mention, first of all, who would like to attend our event in Malta. The event is also published on this page. See it on the first part. So this is the first product. It's not a new product, but it is there. Okay. The first new product that we have is the ankle gel pack. And just to mention, all the products that you will see on the store, they have GANS technology inside. So they are all part of the plasma technology, GANS plasma technology that Mr. Keshe is teaching us.
Can I say one thing, please? All the products are CE and US certificated.
Yes, all the products carry certification.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a product that is specifically to be used on the ankles. The products, you will see two icons or just one icon. That means besides the GANS technology inside the product, you can also utilize the warming up or heating them up to utilize it according to the application. So we have the ankle gel pack, which can be used with cold and hot feature as well. Then we have the eye mask, the Keshgan's eye mask, which has a small width side. You will see that we have more varieties of masks. This in particular has the full eye area covered, and it can also be utilized in both hot and cold. We have the foot gel pack for, we can say for the ladies that are used to wear high heels and they have tired feet at the end of the day, but it can work for any condition that has specific tension in this foot area.
What are the prices? We don't see the prices.
Yes, probably if I make it smaller, would it be still visible? The prices are at the end. So each of the product, when you go at the bottom of the page, you can see the price of the product, the actual price and the promotional price that we have now. Every product comes with a carry-on pouch, so you can have it with you whenever and wherever you want. And you can select the quantity that you want to order. According to this quantity, you add to the cart. You can select multiple products, add them to the cart, and at the end, you can check out just once. As you see, as an option, all the products are certified, and currently we sell with offer the discount. Okay, so this was the foot gel pad. Then we have 3 sizes of the Keshgan's gel pack. We have in large size, medium size, and a small size. As image of example of utilization, it's on the back area, but these gel packs can be used in any kind of area where it is needed, and it can also be used at lower temperature or higher temperature, heating it up or cooling it down.
What's the price? We should have seen the price clear. These are all $19.99.
The large and the medium is at $19.99 each, and the small is at $9.99. So they have different prices according also to the size. Then we have the Gans gel slippers, which is at $19.99. We have the head and teeth gel pack, the Gans head and teeth gel pack, which is
Can you open it up?
$19.99. Yes. As you can see, it can be used on the head area for headaches, migraines, or simple toothaches. Okay. We also introduced a knee and elbow pack because we know that these areas are also usually problematic for majority of people. The knee and elbow pack is at $19.99 as price. And we have a variety of masks. These ones are not covering fully the eye. We have a full width mask for $19.99, a medium width mask at $19.99, and a small width mask just for the eye area at $9.99.
Can we see them individually, please?
Yes, I will be opening them. This is the full width mask. Currently, we only have it in green color. So it is mentioned which colors are available, because when you order, you will not see the option to order color-wise, but we tell you which one is available. So this is the one that you can use on the entire face. Then you have one that covers only the forehead area and the eye with cheek area. And last but not least is the one that covers the eye area. This one we also had before version of the mask, but now it's the improved version of the mask.
How much are they?
The full width and the medium width, 19.99 each, and the small width is 9.99. And one product that will most likely be very popular for the people that have migraines, we have a migraine ice cap, and this can be used in the way that the GANS pads can be put inside the cap, and it can be put on the head area to be used according to the instructions that we received with the product, and it's just 19.99 as well per piece. We have also some multifunctional packs in various dimensions. So we have the multifunctional large pack, which can be used in large areas where is it needed, at 19.99, and the multifunctional medium pack, which can be used in smaller areas. And
this replaces the pads which we used to set.
It's much more flexible. It's much more flexible than the pads that we had, because the technology changed a little bit. The way we are embedding the GANS technology in the products offer us much more flexibility on utilizing it in various areas of the body. So it's much more versatile. Okay. We have also a multi-purpose pack that can be used, let's say, on the shoulders area or in any kind of area. It can be very easily held by the two handles that you can see on the screen right now. This multi-purpose pack is also at 19.99. And the smaller one, which can be used on the knee or in other smaller areas, which is also at 19.99. It has just a strap that holds it fixed in place. And again, both of them have the same possibility of heating them or cooling them according to the need. For the neck area, neck and shoulder area, also for 19.99, we have the neck and shoulder pack. And it can be used according to the instruction. It's very easy to place it on the shoulder, and it stays fixed in the position. Two products that can be used in by cooling them also, but having the GANS technology inside. They are restickable packs, rectangular or round. They are each for 19.99, and it comes in a pack of 2 pieces per each. They have a reusable stickable area. It can be approximately used for 100 times to stick and unstick. So you can simply place them on the portion of the body where you need them, and they just remain there in place. You don't need straps, and it just, where you need it, that's where you place it. And this is why they come also in 2 shapes, the round shape and the rectangular shape, according to how big the area you need to cover is. So each of them is 19.99, and you get 2 pieces of each in this price. So these are the products for today. Like I said, it's 20 new products inside the store. And also today we will add 5 more, which are not yet published, but by the end of the workshop, we should see them. There would be a neck and shoulder pack, which is the larger surface. Then we will have a
Thank you.
pad, and the same also very specific for the shoulder, that you can put it from the shoulder to the arm pack, and a wristband, because many people that are working at the computer very long, they will need the wristband to help them in recovering the area. Basically, that's it what we have.
I think the first thing we need on the top is the universal unit.
Yes, we
need to add that. We close, as of today, the US shop. The US shop will cease existing, and we close the PayPal account on it this week, which means all the products, everything will go through one source. It will be controlled through what we call the Keshe Foundation Austria account. And thank you very much. The whole structure of the returning of the Keshe Foundation, every product you see in Arizona shop US will be transferred to UK, what you call the Austrian account, all under one shop. So you still have access to the products you were or you wanted. We are getting in touch with a lot of Keshe Foundation long-term producers to bring their products under this, what they call it, one roof. And you will see a lot of things you used to have, like the cores, the dynamic cores, and that kind of thing will come under the banner of the Keshe Foundation in one way or another, as allows you to do a lot of other experiments and other things with it. This range of products will increase step by step, but in a solid way. And all the shippings at this moment of time will be done from 2 positions. You still have the old pen pens and the old pen patches of the Keshe Foundation. They all be put under this banner. From now on, everything will look unified, and we'll bring everything under. Anything which was there, like the magravs, will still be there. And we'll build this up gradually to a full product range as it was. So now what we call the product range has increased. What we call all the other materials we had. The new t-shirts will be launched next month or so. It's totally different, very, very colorful, and everything we do from now on will be kept at a very high level. And this delivery stays between 30 to 90 days, but most of the goods will be shipped after January in 15 days, because the stock is kept. We have purchased a large volume and held in the stockroom. So immediate shipment by the time we receive it, and now we're going to the 15 days of the Christmas holidays. In January, more or less everything will be shipped within 7 to 15 days from the warehouse. As I said, this range will extend quite extensively. You will see everything which any of the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers have produced and they want to promote, you'll find on this website, plus nation by nation. Brazil, United States, what you call South Africa, wherever the products is produced, will be under that country. And this way, you still can order it if internationally can be shipped, or it stays locally. People would like to buy from the local, what you call, producers to encourage them. As I said to one of the knowledge seekers, very soon you'll find Gans product groceries will be on offer. So you can order your grocery, what is produced by Gans, to be delivered to your home through the website orders. What we're trying to do with the knowledge seekers is to bring their website to embed it into our system, which means they'll be allowed to extend their sales if we can do such a thing, or we take it and then we allow them to grow their websites. Thank you very much, especially to the Chinese background team. They've done a lot of work to get this done. It's months of work. And there are new products. You will see interesting products, unique and new. Our team around the world looking for new products, and the sales team will be backed up. Once the Malta headquarters is set up, then it'll be easy for us to operate this way. All the education system will go there. Those of you who try to do what we call teaching courses or whatever, we try to support you again through the Keshe Foundation. We offered you this before. Now we control how much and where we can support you, and how the teaching is becoming more extensive internationally. Are there any questions on this section before we go to the other one?
Mr. Kesh, there's a question. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if I may add here, if there is any request from you as seekers, as utilizers, that would like to see any of the daily products that you are using with the GANS technology, send an inquiry to us and we will try to work with the manufacturing team to bring it on the market. So if there are the daily products that you are used to use, but you would like to use it with GANS technology embedded in, then we will try to produce it. So just send your request to us and we will take it in consideration.
What's the best email for that, Ella? Can they go through the support forums?
Through the support site is the best.
There's the Innovator Support Center. Is that one of the better ways to go, or is that a different department in a way?
That can be one of the options. They can also go through opening a ticket on the support site.
Okay.
Can we have a link on this, if you, on this page on the top, if you have any new products or any other products you want to offer, and link it there on top of this page?
We will try to put it, and we can also try to put on every of the product page a link at the bottom where suggestions can be sent.
Yeah, okay. And I think it'll be better if you put the price of the products on the pictures. You know,
we can
where
do
you,
that.
where you put
also
50%.
Okay. We also have the prices here at the bottom of the product.
Yeah,
each.
but they can see straight away what price the product is.
No problem.
As I said, thank you very much, Ella. I know she's been working till 5 o'clock this morning trying to get these all ready. You got to realize Keshe Foundation team has become very small, but extremely effective, and we'll rebuild it back on the way we want it, and extensively supported. We have a lot of other materials which needs to be what we call promoted and encouraged to be sold around the world. We'll see how we go and how we can develop these sites. It's nice to see it is back on, as we said, and it is back very effectively. Some places the shipping cost is so cheap that is more or less the same as the product itself. We try to keep not to look expensive. We look to show how effectively we can. Our distributors, we have given the distribution out of the hand of the Keshe Foundation into largest, what we call international, what we call companies. And we take the best option, the best possible way that we can ship. So as we have taken, we set up more or less the same structure as Amazon and what we call Alibaba. We deliver goods into international warehouses, and from there is taken over. All these holding, handling by Keshe Foundation, more or less, will come to an end in a short time. And this is why we become very efficient. And we have managed to slash the delivery prices drastically. So sometimes you'll say the price of the delivery is the same as the product. The only reason is because we managed to, first of all, reduce the delivery costs. $30, $40 per piece is gone, is finished. We bring it back to around about €9, €7, €10, €4, €5, wherever we can. And this international organization setup has allowed us to work this way. As I said, as the head of the Keshe Foundation, Ella has been working relentlessly with all the Keshe Foundation team to bring these things in pack, especially thanks to the Chinese team. The head of Keshe Foundation in China, Wang Lin, is working relentlessly to make sure everything is on the dot. Chao is traveling all over China, making sure the guarantee of the products and new products. We've seen, with the help of relentless work of Shajin, that products are met to the material we need. Keshe Foundation has spread to special groups, special teams. Now, this way, we control the what we call initiative, and the product is done by the teams we set up. We'll produce catalogs that you can go through it very fast. The structure of the Keshe Foundation, I said, when I come in, those who betrayed me will not exist. I am by tradition trader. Set out, and I told you, when I come in, there'll be no one. Those who betrayed us in Italy, there is no job left. I go to 499 and I make sure salesmen door to door in Italy around the world will sell. Those distributors who thought they could go faster will take it one by one. Why should people pay 119, 120 euro for the same patch they can buy for 9.99 or 19.99? We will not supply any distributors unless they have made new agreement with the Keshe Foundation. You sign a contract, these distribution contracts is not and will not operate anymore, because this agreement, these products are with Keshe Foundation Austria, not Keshe Foundation as Italy or whatever. Italy Keshe Foundation has died, they killed it, but it was good for us. It opened our eyes to a lot of things. These products now is in the hand of international distributors, international warehousing, and internationally operated totally. That from now on, we keep a stock. The minute stock reaches a level, you see on hold. The stock is not available, it will not be sold. The pattern which was kept and then trading people is not there, and then 2 or 3 months waiting for you to get your goods and then switching to another company is over. We'll make sure that the new distributors with Keshe Foundation stay the way they came and not the way it was said. The margins are very short, very small, but the reality is we will capture the market. We will go in a different way that I brought in 30 years of international clearing, housing, manufacturing worldwide. This is what I did for nearly 25 years when I left university to back the work and the research. And unfortunately, I left it to the people to do it, and they thought they took. Now you've seen what we deliver. This is my game for 25 years, and you've seen it. I can go to 199 and I still can make a profit. I'm a ruthless businessman when it comes to business. Those who betrayed me will beg for their life bread on the table because you betrayed the foundation. And we go internationally. Across Italy, we'll promote the Keshe Foundation technology materials into retail shops. I come from that background. I dealt in millions of items, not a few items. And if they thought they went and told others, we turned Keshe Foundation over, Keshe is stupid. Now we see how stupid is the game you played. I don't let no one betray foundation. It's my responsibility as the head of foundation to make sure everything goes okay. Holding the stock, taking money in the name of the Keshe Foundation, and then switching to another company. Match the prices, match the delivery. I told you when I come back heavy. The only thing is, the suit of scientists full-time is since 2002. The suit of international clearance business stock factories across the world, it goes to 1981. This is what you didn't know. Return your BMWs to the suppliers, you won't be able to pay your bills. And then we go internationally with it. All the products, we go, we match. And you've seen how I match. Why do you want to pay $199 to Presser in Australia when you can buy the same product for $19.99? Game is over. Those who betrayed me, you finished. You betrayed the foundation. This is what you didn't know. Hot and cold patch, $9.99 with Gans products. Match it. Don't betray. Anybody tries to betray the foundation will see the same match. We finished with all time. We trusted you to run the foundation. Now we'll run the foundation by our way, by the Keshe Foundation ethos. We don't touch you, but we make sure you touch yourself. This is how it's going to be from now on. Retail, international retail, clearance housing, merchandise in 1 to 2 million items has been my game for 30 years. Now you understand. I have the knowledge, the finance, the know-how, the technology, and the background of retail for 30 years on the highest level to biggest chain groups in the world. Play the game, we play the same. You took the name of the foundation to shame us. Look for the bread on your table very soon. This should not happen. I brought this to Keshe Foundation, and I left it to those people who could deliver and we trusted. You betray the foundation, you go back to the game we came. Across Italy, we go on the television advertising and we put your name because you took our name. You use my name on your website, I can protect and defend my name. Don't pay $199 to plasma, whatever, pay $19.99. You get a better product, high quality, certified. None of the goods coming out of Italy has got certification. Through certification, we checked. Man-made certification. We did not know. Products coming out of Keshe Foundation is certified by Keshe Foundation. Those from Austria has a certification of is true European certification. Every goods come out of China or anywhere else which we certify will have the true certification. We learn more, and I told you, I'm ruthless when it comes to those who betray me, be it man, woman, or anybody else. I play very silently. I don't go and fight. I'm a man of a business background with huge ethics. You put my name, you didn't deliver the goods, that the Keshe Foundation gets bad name, you promote yourself. The only way left is one way. Close the shop. Clear exactly what you did, how you betrayed the foundation. Then we go ahead. Now you see it. Hot and cold patch, knee patch, $9.99, $19.99. Delivery prices brought into line that we can do, we can control. And we're an international franchise. We subcontract and it's done. It's not our worries anymore. Try to touch foundation once more like this, you will see. This is what you thought, he's a stupid businessman. No, I trusted the people who call themselves knowledge seekers. And now you see more products, 50, 60, everything which you have on your websites. As those who betrayed me, I match 10% of your price, 15% of your price. Go and check who I am. I run one of the biggest discount houses for 15 years across the world. This is what you didn't know. I supply the biggest discount chains around the world as a supplier, and they promote it as a discount in their shops. Then you know what I can buy. Game is over. But at least it brings a new dimension to Keshe Foundation. Thank you very much, Ella. Thank you especially Wang Lin and Xiaojin and Chao and the rest of the Keshe Foundation in China. There's a Keshe Foundation in Brazil who supported us so heavily, and all the Keshe Foundation in Austria and across Europe. We come back to what we are doing best. This is showing the technology works. As I said, we have received enough orders for the what we call enhancement units that in a way we still go back to $500,000 price as of 1st of January, and our more or less books are full for the first couple of months. And then we already have enough orders to cover for the next 12 months. In this way, the Keshe Foundation enters in a very, very big way to hold up the clinical trials of every aspect. We try to increase the critical clinical trials we have requested, if we can receive it, to the cancer research. That then we'll let you know how. If we get it done, it takes 3-4 months, maybe a few months to get the structure done. Then you will join us if you want in a clinical cancer research. And as we started with Parkinson and the rest of it, in January, February, most probably we announced the hospitals that you can go for the what we call not only clinical trial but testing of the new systems. The new enhancement units will be tested through clinical trials. In my teachings in Farsi language on Monday, the Iranian team, in the presence of the officials of the Iranian government in the background, there is one question was asked directly, which has caused a lot of concerns and a lot of what we call different emotions in Iraq. As you know, I announced that I am Mehdi, or what we call Messiah. And I was asked directly by what we call the presenters, can I explain more? We are all messiahs of our own soul. The day of judgment, the final day of whatever it is every day in our conducts and our products. As long as we don't betray our own souls and physicality, then we don't betray the others on by ethos. That's how it is, the day of judgment. So we are messiah of our own. We were cheated up to now to say there is that day, they will come. Unfortunately, the doing of the man does not create a court of judgments for God to bring all the man in one day and line them up. And that will be it. The day of judgment for man is the day every day. And it's with the soul of the man. And now that we have the knowledge, the answers to Iranian religious leaders is very simple. I am the Messiah, as much as you are for your souls. The conduct of the leader has to be within the soul of the man, the correct way for himself and his nation, and the humanity. We are all Mehdis for our own soul. And now that we know the position of the soul of the man is and in parallel with the soul of the Creator, the answer is very simple. Go back to what we came from and understand the ethos of Zadosh. Do good, think good, and act good. And in that emotion, by doing it, you become the true man. And that day is the day of judgment every day, because you judge your own acts on every act. The thought, the deed, and the action. And you cannot betray yourself, because that's where the biggest sin comes. When you allow the others to abuse you and you accept it, that is a betray. That is stealing from yourself, allowing the others to take. My answer to the religious organizations, being Muslims, Christians, or Jews, or whatever, is very simple. I am the Messiah. I am the Mehdi, but of my soul. You are the Messiah and the Mehdi of your soul. And if you can live as leaders or as citizens with understanding this, that you do not allow people to steal from you and you don't steal and do wrong to the others, that's the day of judgment, because you have already judged it before become judged. And in so many ways, if we learn this and if we do what we do the best way we can, we have already reached the day of judgment. The fancy time of Jahannam and Behesht, the day of judgment and confession is finished. And then we understand how the position and the situation of mankind will change. As you know, we announced on the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, we will return to Iran for demonstration of the space technology. We'll develop it to the point it is, and we'll show what is developed up to that point. And then we carry on. It's not that everything will be there, that for you to start something which you fancy. Sorry about that. I still got a very bad cold. So in that level, we go back to one point. We invite world leaders and what we call Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers to Tehran. As you know, Iranian tradition brings home hospitality. We're requesting from the Keshe Foundation supporters in Iran not to put the knowledge seekers in hotels and hostels, but invite them to your home. Let them feel the knowledge and love of Iranians. We break the sanctions through love and care and sharing of the knowledge. We organize planes to fly to Tehran with knowledge seekers. 1,000, 2,000 does not matter. We open the door of knowledge in Tehran. In our homes and the Iranian tradition. Ambassadors and world leaders will be invited. And I have already asked the Iranian officials to organize 1,500 and maybe more auditorium for the knowledge seekers and world leaders who come to Tehran. We'll be traveling with plane with the knowledge seekers. We go back to Iran to bring a revolution of knowledge the same way as Ayatollah Khamenei did from Paris. Knowledge seekers and the Keshe Foundation management. We land in Iran to bring the revolution of knowledge, not political change. We land in Iran to break sanctions as one nation. From 1st of February, we will organize this, that those of you who are knowledge seekers will meet in Tehran. There are no hotel costs and charges. The Iranian knowledge seekers will be your home. All you need is plane ticket. And all you need is a visa from Iranian embassy to say we are going for the conference of the space technology. It is the responsibility of the Iranian government to make sure this conference takes place. And it's the responsibility of the Iranian government to show the beauty of the Iranian technology and science. We are not afraid of showing our technology. We are proud to show how advanced we are. Knowledge seekers, the Iranian knowledge seekers who developed and work in different aspects, will be given the platform to show their technology. Tehran conference is the point of change for humanity, where we share the love, the care, the knowledge. Let them sanction themselves. It's the responsibility of the Iranian Keshe Foundation to organize this, that it goes smoothly in conjunction with the officials. We are coming to Tehran to bring a revolution in science and humanity. We leave the governing of the governments and the nation with those who they trusted. As I said, Iran will become the center of the new knowledge, and the head of the Keshe Foundation, that's my job. We invite American scientists to this conference as much as everybody else who welcome. The flag of Iran and every other nation will be next to each other on equal shares of knowledge and technology. Then we build the new space center, and then we build the new structure. Till that time, we extend the technology as much as we can, and in Tehran, we'll show the technology as we can. The Iranian scientists will work with all of us to bring the change. And the rest is in the hand of what we call all the knowledge seekers in Iran and those who handle the affairs of Iranian Keshe Foundation to organize this to go smoothly. We have to make that step to bring the change that we run this planet through knowledge and peace and through sharing each other's love. As I said, we ask the Iranian Keshe Foundation supporters to take the knowledge seekers to show them the love and how life is, not in hotels. In so many ways, the change and the beginning of the change for all of us has to take shape, and it has to take shape by those who care and know. In understanding this, we try to speed up teaching in so many ways and collaboration with the Iranians that in Tehran conference, we'll see the new dimensions in everything else. Those of you who are responsible for the Iranian teachings and the rest, to make sure all the farmers who are using the technology, all the universities who have used the Iranian space technology, which is developed by the Iranian government on the back of new technologies, will be what we call centerpiece. We don't hide the technology, that we show it if they attack us. We show the technology that there is no need even think to attack. We show the beauty of the technology, that in its power, it forces nations who've been warmongering will become ashamed to do. The Keshe Foundation with the Iranian Keshe support team will change the course, and this is our job. these warmongers had enough chance. Now it's time for peace. As I said, there'll be no war, but we have to show what is the new way. In our conference in Mexico, we'll show more technologies. In our conference in Malta, mainly we are there to set up the center for the Keshe Foundation worldwide. In Kenya, we'll do the same. And in Tehran, we complete it as one unit. All the knowledge seekers across the world, we invite you to Tehran. And that process, we need to understand. We show you what has been made to be, and false sanctions will be the sanction on those nations who created the sanctions to enforce war. I will ask the Iranian embassies and the Iranian government to facilitate for the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers to be given a special visa. Freedom to see Tehran, freedom to see Iran. And at the same time, as I said to the Chinese, when we were discussing about the Keshe Foundation, the space technology with the Americans, they said no. But we said that the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers are American. They said yes, that's acceptable. We go the same way. We bury the flags and we make one flag, which is planet Earth, one nation. And in so many ways, those of you who are the believers of the path of Christ, and you are waiting for a Christmas present next Wednesday on the Christmas day, you have received your present, the promise of peace. It's a gift that no one could offer up to now. There is no more war. And so we said, as we promised, now we have to show the alternative for peace in a very rapid way. Otherwise, as you know, the man of Adam get bored and cause themselves many sins by eating the apple of the wrong kind. In so many ways, we have to take charge to show the way the peace will come and what are the peace dividends. And in so many ways, what rules and what laws we have to operate under with the new technology. We don't get engaged in claiming and working for peace. We create the condition for peace with the new science, with new technology, with the collaboration of the scientists, in respect of color, race, and religion and position on this planet. In so many ways, we take charge with the distribution of new knowledge, new technology, and showing how this new technology can change all our lives. Iranian leadership have cancer. Iranian leadership has Parkinson. Chinese leadership suffers extensively from Parkinson. German leadership shakes publicly with the Parkinson. World leaders and their families all suffer from diseases which the new technology can give them the pleasure of peace of mind and body. It'll be interesting to see if we can get the German leader in Tehran to walk in the machine and come out without the shake during the conference ends. It'd be nice to see the Turkish leader with his cancer can walk out without it. It'd be nice to see if other world leaders and their families find peace through the knowledge that bring peace to their nation. It'd be good to see the British royal family with all their diseases become normal human beings through the use of the technology. The Peace Conference, Keshe Foundation Tehran, is a knowledge peace conference where the knowledge will be shared and the knowledge will be displayed. But prerequisite is world peace and delivery of it world peace. If the Iranian government officials try to block, I will play the game of Messiah. And then we understand who carries the true claim. We open the borders, as I said in the talk before, we opened the Iranian nuclear transparency and gave us peace. This time we opened the transparency of the knowledge with the ethos of the Keshe Foundation. And we will achieve world peace through knowledge in sharing the pieces of knowledge. The launch of the Universal Enhancement Unit was for creating peace condition, not for condition that others can have a better life, live longer, to rob and steal and abuse longer. As a lot of us know, we can gather as much what you call wealth, but the wealth of the health is something no one has mastered. And now, through the what we call the enhancement of the soul of the man, through the body of the man, through the new technology, we change the position. The registration for the Keshe Foundation Tehran conference will open first week of January. Names will be given to the Keshe Foundation supporters in Tehran to facilitate who stays where and who wants to show the hospitality of the Iranians to the rest. Will come from all nations and colors and backgrounds, and it's the responsibility of Iranian Keshe Foundation supporters to make sure no one stays nowhere in any hotel but in the hotel of life and love of Iranians for the people of the world. We take charge for peace because we are the only ones who can deliver it through the knowledge, technology, and as one nation. The responsibility of seeing this going through falls on the shoulders of the Universal Council. To make sure the peace conference in Tehran, the peace of knowledge and stability is your responsibility. It means Universal Council has to make sure everything goes smoothly, that the knowledge becomes the background of universal peace. In so many ways, we have entered a new phase. And when you establish peace, you have to deliver it and protect it and see facilities that everything is more or less can be done. And it's the responsibility of the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers to see the finances of the war which has been used correctly is transferred to use for peace. We have to show that the finances which are put for defense and whatever now has no room, and we need to get the signature of no war at the United Nations. or at the meeting of the Keshe Foundation leaders and ambassadors in Tehran. We need to get commitment that no nation enters war. You have 4 months to work. Today is the 19th of December. January, February, March, April. But we have to give something to make sure man does not have and will not go into war. And that'll come from the delivery of new technologies in the coming weeks and months. Does not mean that when we get to that point, everything will change. When we get to that point, it'll be the beginning of the change. How we can show them to increase the harvest. How we can show them we can give them clean water, clean environment. How the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers can show all the beauty of what they have created and what they can create. The Tehran conference is set for the world leaders to sign themselves into no war condition. It's not a peace treaty, it's a no war treaty. When we commit ourselves and our nations to no war, we commit ourselves to peace and expenditure which has been going on the war to go on the peaceful application and development of the cultures, the nations, and in the direction of world peace and opening of the universal community to humanity. We need commitment, and it's the job of Universal Council within coming days to draft up a no war commitment by world leaders and their governments. No world peace, no war. Man has to sign himself to taking no actions to go into war. Then man will come to be at peace. We need to understand this with the new technology as we see today. We don't need to fight. We just have to find a solution that those who steal and they want to fight have no room to exist. The Tehran conference will be beginning of the steps for what we call governing. The Tehran conference by the Keshe Foundation, even if they ban me to enter Iran, will go on. It is the responsibility of the Keshe Foundation in Iran and Universal Council members and the Earth Council responsible for Iran to start the line of understanding how to set up this conference for mankind to sign himself to no war. And I'm sure the Iranian leadership will be one of the first ones who will sign itself to it. No war treaty has to become the cornerstone that through it we achieve peace. Nations signing themselves that they will not develop any war weapons. Nations signing themselves that they will not buy any things which can lead or can cause or give an insight to war. The no war treaty has to come from the Universal Council in conjunction with the Earth Council. You have 30 days to draw up the draft. And you have 30 days to deliver it to every leader and every newspaper, and making what I call end of United Nations. We don't need a United Nation when we are one nation, as we are united. In a meeting yesterday in Beijing, one of the scientists has asked if we can show the fields that we can detect. We will show a field can bring a change, not only be detected. The roadmap for peace is set. Now, the roadmap for no war has to be set. Nations committing themselves to no war, and nations committing themselves to make no tools which can lead to creation of war. We are not talking about disarmament. We are talking about not even taking the arms to create disarmament. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Kesh. As always, the attendees can raise their hands and we can allow you to speak. We did have a question regarding the earlier presentation of products and so on. Is there a new method or any alternate methods to pay for products other than the wire transfer, which many people find awkward to use?
Now the Keshe Foundation has a PayPal. You can pay through the PayPal in Austrian system, and we closed the PayPal of the United States account, as now it feeds back into the account of Global, and Global has no operation with the Keshe Foundation retail groups. If you try to find a way to support it or to order it, we'll find a way to deliver. New ways of delivery will come. In China, we'll use the WeChat. In other operations, we'll look credit card facilities, and the rest in coming weeks will be set up through our operation too. But all these need setting up, and this is all part of the what we call the Keshe Foundation Austria. Keshe Foundation Austria will become the headquarters of the operation of the Keshe Foundation worldwide. It has become. And in that process, we try to expand it gradually, and at the same time, it's spread around the world. It's just monitored and operated through Austria. Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Checking our chats here. And Chris Dyke says, what about the weapons manufacturers, the purveyors of death and destruction? Will they be required to sign?
What?
I guess you're talking about the no war treaty. Will weapons manufacturers be required to sign the no war treaty as well?
I
Or
think
is
will
it-
come, you got to understand, look at the other side of it. When a nation sign themselves to no war treaty, do we need the manufacturers to sign to it? They have no customers. They are signed into by it. You got to realize, as we've seen, majority of the wars, conflicts around the world, especially in Africa now where it sits, comes through the financing through Vatican and Saudi Arabia. And all these radical groups, once they understand they're all one, they will go disappear. All these people who will claim to be the leader of different factions and attacking the Christians or the Muslims or the Jews and them doing the others will come to an end, because the governments, as they sign no treaty, no war treaty, will force them not to supply them anymore. Our biggest problem sits with the Rothschild family and the Vatican. Rothschild family finances war. And that's what they've done for centuries. Because they see it as domination and control, and different faction of it breaks into different governments. We see it. The American administration is run by one cousin and the other cousin tries to better up, and all sorts of games. This has to stop. One of our biggest problems is the Rothschild family at the moment. Rothschild group has financed wars through Vatican. They put the money in, and the Vatican uses the name of the soul to create wars. As we have taken the decision to elevate the soul of the world leaders and the Rothschild family, is for their soul to reach a point that they understand the time of change has come. Let's see if Rothschild group attends Tehran conference and signs their family into peace, into not financing any more arms. It's the responsibility of the Keshe Foundation Italians to deliver the no war treaty to Vatican. The same to Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran. The same to Saudi, what we call family, which is responsible. The same to the two rabbis of the running of the, what we call, Jewish state. The same with the temples, Buddhists, and the rest. No war treaty, not entering war, becomes the cornerstones of them not financing the war. The biggest war from now on will be with the soul of the man with his own, not with another man. The no war treaty has to be given to every world leader. And members of the Universal Council can sign on their behalf if they refuse. And the wish of the Universal Council will be obeyed. Those who asked the question in Tehran on Monday if I am the Messiah, and if I am the Mahdi, I think we have answered you back in a very clear way. Any other question?
We have a couple of questions in the Q&A. Brett Headley asks, what is the role of neutral in a plasma device, be it communications, maggrav, or teleportation device? I'm not sure if he meant neutral or neutron. Neutral, it's the way it reads here. Brett, maybe you can clarify that for us.
What's the other question?
Okay, another question from Nikolai. If knowledge seekers have already sent their €100 or greater donation for 220 to the USA Keshe Foundation PayPal, will they be refunded, or are those payments already sent okay?
Everything is okay. It's all in the same house in different ways. But the Keshe Foundation US has to inform us what they received. That account closes as of today. The link to it will be taken off. So everything goes through the Keshe Foundation Austria.
Right. Once the account's closed, they won't be able to make a payment to that account.
There won't be, yes.
Right.
A lot of knowledge seekers still pay through the old Keshe Foundation account to Holland. It's all no problem. All the KFSSI knowledge seekers has to go to Holland, not to Austria, but it's all the same. It's all one family. It all gets used for the betterment and advancement of the Keshe Foundation work. As you've seen, many people who used to be around Keshe Foundation, they were on the payroll of the Keshe Foundation, are gone. We restructured the Keshe Foundation in a way that we work through what we call project, case-by-case management. This is a decision which is taken by the head of the Keshe Foundation. And she does not want the way I used to run, that we paid people to be around. She is working on a vision basis that we pay when we need, as we need, and we pay the best value we can get for our money for the foundation. I used to work on the trust of the Keshe Foundation, and unfortunately, Giuseppe took all of it, and then behind it, Ben. So from now on, as Ella works on the direct way of the running the foundation, that's the decision is there. So everything will go on the project basis, and we won't see long-term people around the foundation. We project out. If we can't fulfill the project, that'll be the way it'll be. And in that process, a lot of things will change, and a lot of ways of the Keshe Foundation become more efficient. Nothing in the foundation gets lost. It just gets consumed and used for another project, another target, another what we call advancement of the foundation. I stopped financing the foundation because now it has to stand on its own leg, and it's standing good. And in so many ways, it will expand with the new products and new systems which are in the market, and we develop more and more. A new life, a new knowledge has to come from ever development. And as we announced, the Keshe Foundation, KFSSI, if you sign and you paid your fee, you'll find out of nowhere, you become a postgraduate student. We have asked the knowledge seekers and the KFSSI to line up projects which they want to participate in the what we call next semester. We gone from teaching into research and development, which means you have to research, not just coming here to the learn Ganses, but what you want to develop and find the like-minded people in the foundation to develop that project. What I wanted to do today as part of the teaching is to ask the knowledge seekers, what topics would you like to research in the coming Campus Society New Year? Each platform will have people who work together. We won't allow anyone to take charge of any of the research that they can hijack. It has to be collective sharing and developing, and either way your work will be published, or you have to publish it or bring it on a discussion table every end of term. The panel is open to suggest what you want to research. New system for space, new system for agriculture, new way to bring education in, and how you can do it and how you can research it. And then sit, make a dossier with it and sit and how you can develop it with the team which you put up to be with.
In the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group in the last couple of weeks, we've been creating a list, we call it the project list for 2020. And we've got about a dozen potential projects, you could say.
Would you like to share it with us?
Some of them are very simple, but some of them are more general and so on. And we haven't fleshed it out totally yet on each of these, but we do have just a basic, just trying to do a brainstorming on some of them. So maybe I should put the list up so we can read it at the same time, or should I just list them off? I can just read them. That's fine, I guess.
Because we don't see, you can put it on the screen that people can see and it stays recorded.
Okay, I'll do that then.
These are some of the suggestions. So you decide in what you want to research in the KFSSI.
Yeah, we hadn't refined the list and it wasn't really prepared for today, but it's just doing, what people are sort of interested in and different inputs on that. So let's have a look here. Okay, you see on the list here, it starts out with understanding and replicating the first plasmatic nanocoating interaction. May have been Lawrence that suggested this one, a cola bottle reactor. So going back to the basics and really trying to get a better understanding of that process and that interaction, and maybe in a more scientific way or in different ways of understanding and measuring and replicating that experiment. Number 2 is making the self-charging flashlight. Has there been a group that has really seriously looked at that and attempted different approaches to actually recreate or create a new rendition of that self-charging flashlight? Of course, that leads to the self-charging battery, which you've been alluding to quite a bit recently, Mr.
Where is the first flashlight which charges itself? I've seen it somewhere. It's already been done. It was one of the first things I used to show in demonstrations 10 years ago.
Yes, yes. Well, but has anybody else duplicated it since then? That's the question, I guess. So we would like to, or some group could possibly get together and really penetrate that to focus on it enough to bring it to life, you might say.
With the nanotechnology understanding, it should be very easy to do. The first one, the bottle, I remember on the internet there used to be a lot of discussions, the magic bottle, the cash liquid and everything else. And we were asked a lot of questions about it, but if you can do the mysterious water, liquid, yeah. You remember that one?
Yes, everybody was guessing what was in it and so on and so forth.
Yeah. It's good to, if we go back and do, especially if they can do the torch, if the group wants to work on a flashlight, I call it the torch, caused me a lot of problem. In English we call it the torch.
That's right.
In America you call it a flashlight or whatever.
Right, a torch in America would be a flame.
Setting a fire.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good idea, but let's see who wants to do it. Get a team. And if you need these teams, you set up something to be done. We try to set up a structure that they provide you facilities, or these cash foundation groups in KFSSI can meet together somewhere once a year, twice a year to see the results. And the cash foundation, they can bring their own parts, and or different labs of the cash foundation can produce the parts for them. We can support you that way.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great to pass the knowledge back and forth to work with it. Yes.
Okay, what's your next idea?
Number 3 is create matter from fields. An iron plate, for example, to actually create an iron plate from field interactions. And this is part of the transmutation from fields into matter technology. So creating just a simple matter from the fields. I say just, but it's maybe not quite so easy. As we talked also about during yesterday's workshop about the creation.
Can I say something once again?
Yes.
There's a Brazilian group of people in the Brazilian chat claim that they are part of the Keshe Foundation and they know the secret of how to make materials from energy or something like that. Maybe that's a very good candidate if you can find these people. They said they are part of the original Keshe Foundation, something in that manner in the Brazilian chat. They'll be very good people for you to bring in. There's something very funny. Professor Sauer claimed that he's financing and working with the Keshe Foundation research. I would like to see that finance. That matches the claim. We never done any research with Professor. And he never financed any research. So it'll be nice to see people who would like to finance these researchers themselves. If you something there says, okay, I finance this project for the masters. It's like the other commercial groups too. And try if you want. You have the facilities to provide it, support each other to make these things happen. And this production of iron plate from fields is a very interesting project. There's a Iranian team who's working on this. We can put you in touch with them.
Very good. Yes, it's a simple sentence, but there's a lot behind it in the repercussions and so on as
The
well.
knowledge behind it, then you understand, yeah.
Like
So we all,
the whole mining industry might be kind of
danger.
disrupted slightly by such a thing, you know. Yes. Shall we go on?
Yep.
There's
Okay.
more. Understanding magnets. Can we change the magnetic field within a magnet?
Yes, that's a good one.
Right. So even with, you know, the very basic magnets, not even talking necessarily about the magnetic gravitational fields out in space and so on, but just simple magnets. And of course, there are ways to change that, but we could definitely learn more about that whole.
What are the ways? You're the man of knowledge.
Well, they have ways of changing the fields within say a bar magnet to make it plus minus minus plus 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 minus minus to make it the positive or north or south anywhere they want within the magnet, and then they can take another, or you can do that in a disc magnet for example that you've shown, or a ring magnet, and you could take another one and it'll sort of engage into it in a certain way because of all the orientation of the fields. And you can make a magnetic drive that way that, you know, the magnets can fit together in certain ways. And so they're learning how to change the fields when they create these magnets to.
But can we use the knowledge of the gas and the plasma to do that?
Right. That's this.
Maybe you can put it in your list.
How do you mean?
You're changing of the magnet through GANs technology or the plasma technology, not with currents. The currents we already know.
Right.
In tokamaks, they use part of this technology to contain and accelerate.
Yes, I heard a discussion from a fellow called David Adair today, who talked about they're doing it wrong with the various incarnations of the tokamak and so on. He says it should be a figure eight, a flat figure eight, like an infinity symbol, like you commonly make in your drawings, Mr. Kesh. This, by the way, this David Adair that I just mentioned, he's very much into rocket technology and space technology and so on, has been his whole life. He's kind of famous in some circles. He's recently been invited, apparently, to Iran to progress with his technology and to help with their infrastructure systems in particular, and a number of different projects with rockets and so on. He mentions that there's...
you think the Americans will let him go?
Well, this is the thing. He's had kind of a rough relationship in a way with the American system, because from when he was a kid, he was so brilliant. He actually developed a fusion rocket when he was 17, and he showed it he was taken to Area 51, and he showed his rocket, and they showed him what they had. The military showed him.
Which is not much.
Well, they had some sort of alien or what looked to be alien fusion rocket, fusion energy system for a saucer, basically. And they had him look at it. He went away and duplicated it because he was so brilliant, or replicated it in a similar way. But then he realized that what they wanted it for was for war purposes, just to deliver war systems faster and better to kill more people. And he totally rebelled against the whole thing. And He blew up his own rocket on the tarmac by hijacking it in a certain way. And that was the end of that project. But now he says there's 80 different ways to make rockets, and the first two are solid fuel and liquid fuel. And then
This guy is still in the
to,
back old ages, huh? Still
well,
making rockets.
Well, in a way, but his rockets are special in that they create the fields. It's not just when you create a fusion reactor, as you know, then you're creating fields at the same time as the propulsion can be used as well. So it's a different type of technology that he's talking about. He wants to expand that, and somehow they offered him virtually unlimited funding to do this in Iran, apparently. So he's about to go there, is the way I understand it. He's a little worried for his life.
Is he asking, have they asked him to cross Canada first? Or are they giving him a direct flight?
Choked on that one. Yeah, that's no. I'm not sure how he's going, but this is one. He's an extremely determined person, and he says if anything happens to any part of him, if he gets detained or whatever, then his full production of everything he's known and developed through his life, including transparent aluminum and a bunch of other patents and all of his stuff about rockets and engines and fusion and so on, which has been his whole lifetime. He's pretty old now. Will be revealed automatically through servers that are around the world, and so he's kind of protected that way. That's his insurance, you might say, I guess. So anyway,
he doesn't know Mr. Trump so well yet, does he?
Oh, he's a little upset with Mr. Trump, and not. So that's one of the reasons I think he might be going to Iran, because he's not into,
you see, one of the biggest problem is that Iran has to take the leadership in the new space technology.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
This is what I suggested to the Iranians a long time. We got the knowledge. We have the scientists. We have to take the lead. They took the lead of wars. We take the lead of the science. And this has been my suggestion to the Iranian leadership for a long time. And one of the worst thing ever happened is that it's the way the system works, that you're guilty because we said so. We seen it in my case with the Belgians. As I said to before, if you look at the titles of the court case, the number, it says we have an original copy signed by Delanois, Mehnat Kesh, as a terrorist. American refused it. So he took the same forced summons and he changed it to fraud. These people have run a situation like this, that by name they decide, they make what they like. And they had that opportunity up to now. Now, the Iranian government and the Iranian universities and the knowledge seekers and the world scientists have to change that position, that scientists are not criminals just because state decides. You have to understand the situation before Huawei. The lady, the daughter of the Huawei, who's in Canada, if you go on the news, few days before that, the top Chinese scientist who was one away awarded in Europe few weeks before, again was drugged the same way as me and was thrown out of the window, was killed in US. Americans and the Canadians and some of the European nations have taken that step to openly kill scientists. And it's the job of the Iranian government to give sanctuary to world scientists, and through the knowledge to create peace. This is what I've advocated with the Iranian governments for past few weeks. Become the home, but do not use the technology as a defense. Use the technology as peace, that we share it with everybody else. This is the position we have to change. The freedom of the scientists to travel, the freedom of the scientists to come and go out of Iran, the freedom of the scientists for technology to be credited to them as they develop it. This is what is needed as a new leadership. This is what I said to the officials. I take that position to bring scientists to Iran and openly release their technology, their development, the way we are doing it in KPSSI. By creating fear, they have created war. By creating trust and showing the technology, we create peace. We create that this machine, what it does is not for the war. And these steps to take scientists to Iran is something which we've been asking for years from the Iranian government. But when they go in, the knowledge has to be open, not too secret. This is the, as you know, Iran is advanced heavily in the past 30 years. Be it in nuclear, be it in nano, be it in any other aspects. Ask yourself a single question, why? Many government has changed. We saw Ahmadinejad, we saw his idiotic behavior, we saw Ayatollah Rouhani, we've seen Ayatollah, other Ayatollahs, who, or the people who became one by one Iranian leaders. But they are just the front of it. But the progress in the knowledge and technology of Iran is in the hand of one man. He's extremely knowledgeable. He's extremely advanced in science and technology. And it's His Excellency, His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei. The Iranian leadership sits with Ayatollah Khamenei. And the technology advancement of Iran, what we see, advanced, what we call nuclear processing, advanced nanotechnology, other things, comes from the insight of the man who put science first for Iran. And it's Ayatollah Khamenei who's done this. Nobody else. Governments have come and gone, but the pattern of the development of technology sits with one man. And the way he has supported what we call the scientific groups in Iran. We will see many more advancements, but my suggestion to the office of Ayatollah Khamenei is very simple, has been very simple, that to allow the world scientists make Iran the center of knowledge. And we see it start, they will do, but in so many ways, by creating fear, they want to stop this. By creating sanctions, they want to stop this. With what we call the Tehran conference in April, we break this. In a way, is the beginning of setting up the space technology through it, new technologies, that it brings other scientists to do it. And this sits only and only from the insight and the openness and understanding the effect of the new technology on the life of the citizens through the office of His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei. He's one of the most intelligent world leaders we know of the modern time. He has used the assets of the nation to bring the nation to a very high level through the team who work with him. And what we call the special groups within the structure of the Ayatollah Khamenei's office has the responsibility to bring the world scientists to Iran. It's not just what you call putting sanctions on different ayatollahs and whatever. You have to see how the background leadership sits. We've seen many presidents change, but the development of the science and technology in Iran is amazingly meteorically going up. Because you got to understand, Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran is Russian-backed, educated inside. And this has given an intelligence of understanding of the totality of the knowledge. Through knowledge you gain power. Through technology you gain power, not through arms. This is what most of the people outside Iran and even inside Iran don't understand. It's not a random buying and making something. Ayatollah Khamenei has set up a structure that fishes out the intelligence, the most unique scientists out of Iran and nourishes them in a hidden way. And then the technologies come up. It's the responsibility of the Iranian government now to extend that to the world scientists. And they've started doing it. Iran in 1978, 79 had 90% oil dependency. What is income? Today, through the wisdom of the leadership, 30-35%. Iran is one of the biggest exporters of technology around the world. This is why the sanctions don't work. President Trump lives in 1970s that they thought with the sanctions on oil can paralyze Iran. Iran lives in 21st century where income comes from knowledge and technology, biochemicals and everything else. And my advice has been always to the people who will speak to the Iranian Central Office to show the beauty of the technology of Iran, not out of fear when we have to, but in advance that it doesn't allow them to take hand. This conference we're announcing in Tehran in April is to show the beauty of the knowledge worldwide in Tehran. And then world leadership in science and technology will come. This is what is important. Today's teaching, today's knowledge seekers is opening a lot of things, and you understand what we are talking about. People have to understand the true nature of Iran. It has and it will become the center of knowledge. Ayatollah Khamenei has taken that lead from the take. He took the seat of the leadership. Nobody understood. And if you look during his leadership, we've seen all the latest technologies. American run in the Straits of Hormuz from the Iranian technology. And it's not by coincidence. And it's been developing one after another. And it has to be this way. The counterbalance for war and warmongering sitting in Europe and America is the peaceful nation of Iran through the new technologies. To releasing, becoming a home of science. Iran used to be this way. Till in 1972, the peanut man decided. We will see many scientists will be attracted to Iran. And the Iranian scientists will have to compromise as much as the world scientists to bring back a counterbalance, the sanctions on the nations who create war with sanctions with the development on new technologies which can bring peace. As I said, the teaching of the knowledge seekers is not, and has seen for months, is not anymore on making systems, because I planned this change in knowledge seekers. Then KFSSI becomes the home of new technologies, what you want to do. But the home of the new science, new space technology will be in Iran. And we invite the world scientists to come in. You know, the top scientists in plasma and electronics, invite them to the Tehran conference. And if they accept that the Keshe Foundation, no, I organize it with the Iranian government, that all accommodations met, that they'll be there. When we go to Tehran, we'll announce positions that the Iranian Keshe Foundation scientists, knowledge seekers, will all go in full plane loads to Tehran. It's the responsibility of Iranian central government and other nations to make sure the safe passage of the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers and world scientists to Tehran. How many peace conferences, how many environmental conferences we've seen, even the last one in Spain has faced failure, because they have not agreed not to war, not to go in conflict. When you agree not to go in conflict, you already have found a solution for peace. We start no war agreement. When you want to defend the land in the name of a nation, defend it, but you cannot go to war for it. We commit nations to peace because they have no wars to make. And the same thing goes for the Chinese leadership. President Xi has to change the position of increasing the defense to increasing the knowledge for a space. For, in a way, technologies that we don't need to war. And as we've seen in China, there's a huge problem. The Chinese leadership is not and cannot see the true developments in science because the leadership is surrounded by a bunch of scientists who protect their own interests, not the national interest or international interest. And they're blocking the leadership to see new technologies which can be used for not creating war, or creating new conditions for peace. And they're blocking anything to reach to CPC. All the head of universities are there to block new technology, that they keep their position. All the professors, all the military leaders who are in scientific development work in China in one way, not to show their stupidity, time has changed, but stopping the leadership to see what the changes brings. In Iran, this is solved. In Iran, the leadership of Ayatollah Khamenei's eminence controls the new technologies around the world to bring in, and they started doing it. And this has to bring a new insight. Putin has changed the position. Putin takes a lot of new technologies in Russia in conjunction with the Iranians.
Mr. Keshe, I'd like to interject that Iran is actually number 4 in the world right now in the publication of nanotechnology articles, right behind China, USA, and India. It's number 4.
USA is stolen in technology.
Just a few years ago, it was way down at 17, then it went to 10. I remember it was 7 a year or two ago, and now it's up to 4. And they're increasing more than any other country.
Yeah, but American nanotechnology, most of it comes from stealing and killing scientists. We know that. If you siphon out the nanotechnology development in the United States, is all stolen papers, knowledge and technology. The United States has hardly any, very, very little. If you do the true correction of it, US should be around about 25, 30. United States steals technology and accuses the others not to see. We see it with the highway. One of the reasons the attack on highway started because highway is too advanced in G5, G6. They kidnap the woman, they throw their scientists out of the window to stop that they can catch up, which is the opposite to what Iran is doing. It's bringing in to go more advanced, not to catch up with the others, to catch up with them. As I explained, if you see the nuclear sanctions, the only reason in all negotiations, Iranian nuclear sanctions 5+1 is enforced is because, let's say, put it this way, it takes one American centrifuge, let's say, to produce 1 kilo and 1 megawatt, but the same thing Iran produces 6 times more. This is the sanction to slow Iran down from advancement, but it hasn't worked. Iran advanced more now that the nuclear problem, what they call it, development for Iran is solved. All the finances now is gone to space and other technologies. We achieved what we came in, as I said very recently, and I've said it before, in the 5+1, Iran gave nothing. Then in a way, President Trump is correct. Iran took everything and didn't give anything for it. Why should we? We are in charge. We carry the knowledge, it's ours. Why should we give it away? We can prepare to a limit that is safe for us and we can do. We're producing the isotopes which are selling worldwide. We're still developing new different kind of plasma and nuclear technology. We can sell it, we can export it. We gave nothing, which was our right. And the next step in technology has to be the same. Homegrown, new technologies, new sciences in collaboration, conjunction with the world scientists. Tehran will become the center of knowledge and peace. And the seed for it has been set by the present Iranian leadership and His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei. People do not understand the influence of Ayatollah Khamenei in the Iranian scientific world. Iran is the only nation that every year celebrates and invites his top scientists to a conference in Tehran. Elite Iranian scientists come from universities or whatever, they are invited and Ayatollah Khamenei meets with them personally every year. No nation does this. This is part of his work to encourage new technologies. This is why the daily running has left in the hand of the president. What we see, petrochemical developments and the rest of it and everything else, comes because Iran has the security of the knowledge, and we've seen it. As I said, Americans bombed their way from what they learned in the Second World War, high-level bombing, for past 70 years, one by one. We've seen it in Europe. They did the same thing in Germany. They bombed Germany from high. They did the same thing in Vietnam. They have nothing. When you are incompetent, you, what they call throw stones. When you're competent, you sit and talk logic and find peace. Americans find a way by bombing, high-level bombing. Have you seen them over Iran? Because they can't go high, but we go higher than they do. They tried every trick in the book. And it comes out of the knowledge and the scientific technology, which is homegrown, developed by the Iranian scientists. As you know, very recently, they claimed that the Iranian bombed the Saudi petroleum refinery or whatever. But did anybody say, why did the American push so much? Go back to my teaching. What they claimed the Iranians bombed it. They used every trick. They put our armies at the disposal of the Saudis to do what they like with Iran. You heard what the American senator said. She said, excuse me, I'm a military. We gave our commitment to the American nation not to be given to others. American military is not for prostitution. Why they couldn't do it? What happened in that case of refinery? Has anybody asked and looked into it? Very strange. The rockets has got American numbers on the side. The rocket has American details on it. Do you remember what I said before? When a friend gives you a gift you don't need, you send it back to him because he might have another use for it. When the rockets were launched towards Iran for the nuclear centers of Tehran, we have the technology, we just diverted it, sent it back. We had no control over it. You remember the old song, Return to the Center, there is no such address. Did the Americans come out and say what the Iranians have done to them? They blame the Iranians for their own rocket, which the Iranians returned back. I told you this 2 years ago. And I said to the Israelis, all these claims saying to come from Iran, it's been shot by Iran, it's been launched by Iran, the refinery. It came from Iran, but it was a gift sent by the Americans. We didn't need to. We have enough knowledge. It was sent back. But the Americans couldn't capture it. Thus the world is aware of the truth. Return to the sender. And this has put fright in the backside of the American leadership. Saudis will not open and show. If it's Iranian, show the label on the side. It's American codes on it. We don't need the gift of a bomb. We send it back to you. If you have a technology to launch it, you have technology to capture it. It's a very much game of cricket. You throw a ball, you hope it hits the bar. But if you got a good batsman and you throw it back, is the what we call the bowler who's got to catch it, that he doesn't lose 6 marks, does it? If it's the boundary, it's done. When the Americans launched these rockets to hit Iran, Iran had the technology. All we did was switched over. Americans don't have the technology to capture what they throw, and then they blame others for it. Did the Saudis come up? Why do you think the Americans suddenly we give everything to the Saudis? Because they knew they couldn't capture the ball they threw. Now they blame the audiences that you should have jumped in the circle and captured it for us and we get the marks for it. Advancement in the technology has given us a condition of peace. This is why we take the World Center leadership to Universal Council into Malta and not anymore to New York and the United Nations. The slaughterhouses of the United Nations will shut very soon. The same with the World Bank and the same with IMF. The strength in the knowledge has to become the strength in the peace, not the weakness and the lack of understanding. I've said directly, show us the numbers on the side of these rockets they claim hit the refinery, you'll find American quotes on it. And they try to cover the face. Shame of losing the game. We got to bring the peace through knowledge and what we call no war policy. As I said, we have to close 3 or 4 loops, and it'll be done in a very soon. It's my vision, it will be done. We try to control most of the Swiss accounts and Luxembourg accounts and Monaco accounts. Now we have to stop the hidden money, finances, stolen money from nations, governments who supply these kind of things into United Arab Emirates. It has become sanctuary for stolen funds and paramilitaries. This is one of the last loopholes. We closed the Bahamas, we closed everything else, or at least we tried to make it as possible transparent. United Arab Emirates has to open the books that any money goes in, who it belongs to and why. And in that process, it allows a lot of things to clarify and be clear what is happening in Iran and how they're trying to play games with Iran. When I was there a couple of weeks ago, they said something very interesting. Emirates expats Dubai is 7 to 2 at the moment. It means every 7 expats leaves, 2 comes in. Dubai has gone on a decline. You could buy a property for $1 million. Now you can pick it up around about 300,000 in less than 3 years when I left. I took everything out of Dubai. Because it's unjust. And the same thing has to be understood. New technologies has to take place in the world government. You remember that song which says, imagine? By John Lennon. Now, imagine all this funding for rockets and everything else in killing is transferred for knowledge to capture the space, to open space frontiers, to open communication and align with the universal community. Can you imagine what a wonderful will be? This is what's come out of Tehran conference. We will not show Ayatollah Khamenei Iranian leadership as those who are warmongers. We will show as are those who set the cornerstones for peace or developing new technologies. This is what a lot has been hidden in public. This is why the sanctions is not so effective. With oil, they took 1/3 of the Iranian finance, not the others. They tried to bring steel sanctions, chemical sanctions, every other sanctions. But now we are so cheap, we are so effective that Iran's GDP export doesn't matter. Oil is just part of it. The most of the Iranian oil export comes back for the Iranians' cars and in a way for refining. We hope in the coming time to use the Iranian education centers and universities and technologies for world teaching. We'll talk about it in the coming time. You want to go to the Center of Excellence for Space Technology, See if in a few months' time, in a few years' time, we can find a place in Tehran universities. As I said, do you know internationally what they call an MIT for? Masters in Theft of Technologies. Not many MIT scientists and the work comes out of it is originated in MIT, it's stolen technologies. They sit in all the boards and see what comes out and then becomes MITs and they try to put patents. This is what happened to Keshe Foundation with Ebola. They stole the technology in the office of the president. 3 months later, MIT, the same person who was in the conference, has published a paper as American Intelligent New Technology for Ebola. When the scientist published the paper, check his passport, it says Sierra Leone 3 months before. As part of the World Health Organization. Master in theft, not MIT. Carry on reading, please.
Okay. We're up to number 5, which is a simple nano-coated copper scrubber as a water purifier. And by copper scrubber, it's those curly, scrubby things that you can get.
We did that. I think with Armin and the Keshe Foundation Knowledge Seekers, we actually send these with Yokoko to Japan.
Yes, I think I recall something about that.
We done that. I think I saw them. I saw them in the material coming in from when we closed the Italian factory, which they came from. Is Armin in the background? He's in Mexico. He arrived in Mexico this morning. He's there. Armin has no voice. He's at the bottom. I think he's fallen asleep.
Oh, how did he get at the bottom alphabetically? That's a bit of a miracle in itself.
Yeah, but he's got a microphone. We did these scrubbers in Italy. They work effectively, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and they work effectively.
It's a beautiful idea, actually, and it's very much a doable thing. So the idea might be to, what are the criteria? How long will it last? What's the best way to do it? How effective is it? The percentages and all that. It could be really scientifically pursued as a project.
Yeah, but I think what you got to do is add a little bit to this one. Needs another bit. Is not just copper. There are those who are made of composites. What do you call them?
Well,
they're coated. Yeah, they're coated with other materials. They have a different effect.
Well,
it's galvanized. They use galvanized metal in some of them.
Or platinum or something like that.
No, it's a galvanized. You buy them in the market, the galvanized one.
I see what you're saying. Yes, there's different ones like that. There's the
even
zinc coated. Zinc
coated, yeah.
Possible.
But you have the plastic ones. You can even use those. What's the effect of those rubber scrubbers? The plastic one. If you can nano-coat them.
Some of the copper ones are actually steel underneath, and you have to be careful because if copper wears off, and the steel will stain your plates. But those are kind of cheap ones. and some of them are zinc underneath the copper coating, and some of them are pure copper. So there's like these different varieties of the scrubbers. Perhaps a combination of two different types or more would also be good. But like you say,
we lost Arman. He disappeared. I think we woke him up.
Maybe he'll come back in with his. Oh, now he has a voice, I think.
He has a voice. Where are you, Arman? We don't see you.
Hello, Arman.
I'm here.
He's there. He's back. Arman, you remember those rubber scrubbers we used in the Sensano we sent to Tokyo with Yokoko?
Yes.
They want to do a project on it. Or there's a suggestion to do a project on it.
But that ones were copper, Mr. Cash.
Yeah. But if you mix them with the others, you might get a better results. I know you get a better results because I've done some tests on it. Okay.
And as you mentioned,
add to your rubber scrubbers, add some more data on it.
Yeah, I'll add the rubber scrubber on there as well.
Rubber scrubber and composites, yeah.
As you alluded to there, the nano-coated copper could, in the process of making the nano coating on the copper, you could actually include other elements that might be embedded into that nano coating.
Yeah.
Could be effective.
Yeah.
So there's roughly 1 billion experiments that could be done with just that alone.
But
so
can we put these on for the, what they call it, KFSSI, that people can choose what topics they like to do? And as I said, we give them platform on Thursdays and on Universal Council meetings on Tuesdays, one planet, one earth, that they can come in and solicitate for other knowledge seekers to join them in their research or see how they can help them.
Report their progress. Mm-hmm.
Not the progress, but we need such a person. If there is somebody here that help us with this or the data or whatever, to become part of the knowledge seekers to work. Because we have a spectrum of knowledge seekers here with different talents, so they can come and solicit for new knowledge seekers to help them to do their test or whatever. Okay, number 6.
Number 6, create gold from mercury with tritium and the basic ganses.
Can you please contact China, what do you call it, Japanese embassy? They will give it to you. Already been given.
You've talked about that before and laid that out. So it'd be a matter of someone with the passion to go ahead
like
and
to start testing
that
it.
experiment.
Yep.
Okay. Number 7 is the Magrav winding adjusted, as in the First Health Blueprint teaching, January 26, 2016, with a specific 2 hours, 13 minutes, 33 seconds into it. I can't recall exactly what that was in that blueprint teaching, but there was something about adjusting the winding. Perhaps that was the adjustment from gravitational to magnetical, or vice versa there, where things were changed around.
What's next?
Number 8, plasma capacitor, as in the First Health Blueprint teaching. So to investigate that concept and develop it out, how far can you take that idea, I guess?
I tell you something very funny about this. In a meeting in Beijing with the aerospace people, the material was given them to test. I think we see Wang Lin in the background. let her explain it. You'll laugh. She was laughing at it when she was telling me yesterday. Wang Lin, you're in the background. Do you see her?
Yes.
Can you hear us? Would you like to tell us what happened in the meeting with the space people and the test you got the results yesterday with? The nano layers?
Yes. They cut like a piece of the nano-coated copper line wire, and they test. And at night they tell me, yeah, they from the like this side they test it's a high resistance. This is like a mega ohm above, and they say, but they tested another line that's just a copper resistance. It's not a superconductor. And I was laughing. They because they don't understand what we are talking about. The superconductor is in a nano layer, between a nano layer and layer. It's not like the copper.
In the copper.
So, yeah.
So they cut it in half in order to test it and kind of broke the experiment, you might say.
No, you lost the point. The meeting was yesterday with the space scientists and the university guys, and they took a piece of they wanted to test a piece of nano wires which was taken to the meeting. And because we told them that the material is super resistor and is in mega, and if you go along the wire, it's superconductor, or what you call it, zero time loss. And they took it yesterday morning in a meeting, and they immediately tested it. And by last night, they sent a message back. The nano material, it is a super resistor in mega ohms, which we know, we already announced it, is over 20 mega ohms better than diamond. But they said the claim of being a super conductor is not correct because it's copper. And the reason we laughed is they didn't test to send a message through the nano layer. They tested the copper. They thought the copper becomes superconductor. Do you understand? They never understood. They never understood the testing should be on the nano layer, not on the copper. And they thought.
Well, I had imagined they had probably cut into the wire to attach to it to the copper level.
Yeah.
Tested and so on, and basically.
But they didn't test it through the nano layer. Yeah.
Actually, they have another word after that. They say it's because of the copper wires, like when it has electricity goes through and to create heat and create black like oxide copper on the surface.
But they don't know how we produce it, which is from outside.
Yeah, it's a totally different
I think what you got to do,
Wang
Lin, with, pardon?
Yeah.
I mentioned it's just a good point. It's a totally different process, though. And when the wire overheats, it turns black on the outside, but it also crystallizes and fries the inside of the wire, makes it useless. Whereas the process that Mr. Kesh is talking about is the outside in. And,
I think
it's different.
I think what you got to do is send a message back to the space people, Lin, that this nano coating was done from outside and not with the wire.
Yeah, they think it's because of the wire heated and.
Yeah, I think you better. I understand that, but you have to explain that to them. Send them a message. Then they understand.
They think it's like eat hot pot, so cook a lot and the pot became black.
Now they got themselves a very hot and very potty pot. Okay, just send them a message to explain to them. The blackness comes from process from outside, not from process inside. And it's not a hot pot. Thank you very much. Well, Lin, thank you very much for everything you do in China for us and your team. We just released the products. It's fantastic. Those of you who do not know about a hot pot, do you want to explain what a hot pot is?
I think everybody know what is hot pot.
No, I think only Chinese people who came to China, some might know what a hot pot is.
Actually, it's a different from the Western hot pot. Especially in north of China, they have the cooper. The shape is more like a hat, like in the Mongolia hat. We are thinking is it because come from that tradition, and put the cooper pot, and the center has a column, and burn the carbon under the pot, and
You mean charcoal?
yeah, put the water inside the pot. That's a very traditional, like a Peking hot pot.
Yeah, but the thing is, you cook your own food on the table. That's what they call it, a hot pot.
Oh yes.
That's why I said people don't understand what a hot pot is. All the pots are hot when you cook in them. But the traditional Chinese hot pot is you have a pot which is with whatever liquid you like to, spices you like to put in the water. And then you put your own meat, you cook your own meat on the table. It's a very popular, what do you call it, passing time for dinner. It's very social
that's
because
my favorite.
yeah, I think it's everyone's favorite when they go to China if you ask for a hot pot. So you cook your own food, the water and the pot is in front of you on the table, and the meats and the vegetables are in plates. You cook it, and they give you instructions. Some things has to be 8 seconds or 8 times dipped in. You get the best flavor. Thank you very much. Carry on, please.
Okay, we've got number 9 is exercises for emotion and breath. That was kind of a short sentence, but it's a lot to it in terms of we're understanding a need. If it all ties into kind of going to space and to the control of our own spaceship, of our body and our emotions, and the idea that there may be exercises to help in that control and in that in the transitions into these different states or whatever. And you mentioned some things in the past, Mr. Kesh, in that regard. Lying down and paying attention to the breath and slowing down the breath and so on, and explain the difference between standing up and lying down. And
Can I just jump in?
Yes,
I
please.
have to leave in next 7 minutes.
Oh goodness.
Okay, so we come back to this next Thursday teaching.
Okay.
To start people choosing what they want to do. Would you like to read the rest?
Okay, I'll
tell us.
Sure.
You got 3 more left here.
Yep. We've got the Maggrav pulse generator, and people have been interested in that for a while. That was sort of the original idea with the pulse in the refrigerators that were used with the Maggrav, but this would be more sophisticated, some sort of way of generating that pulse, either through electronic device of some sort, or perhaps with a more field-based effect that could perhaps interaction of the fields which will produce the pulse. Number 11 is the what I call the eye test tube, which is basically a multi-field sensor that will plug into an ordinary computer. And it would be, in this case, encased inside of a test tube, but it would sense the fields. So the idea would be to work with different types of circuits and interactions and transformations there, that somehow we can get some kind of feedback that can be looked at and analyzed and worked with and maybe replicated by others so they can experiment with it as well. Of course, the best sensor, which we talked about this in the Keshe Plasma Reactor group, is our own human physicality body. The machine that we run around in all the time seems to have lots of sensing features. And we actually, Jedi Simon came up with the list of 40 different sensing apparatuses that are that we can use to, different ways, different ways that we sense things other than our main senses of that we all know, the so-called five senses that we were so limited to in the early days of our life. I'm told you only have five senses and one sixth one that you're not supposed to talk about, but we actually have dozens of different senses. Anyway, to try to get some sort of objective or some kind of readout on the fields of the environment. Number 12 is emotional balancing devices. I think it was one of the knowledge seekers came up with the idea of the emotional dialysis machine. And I thought that was a nice phrase.
I think emotional dialysis machine will come to the enhancement unit.
Yes, that's what it's kind of based on.
Actually, what I would like to invite a lot of knowledge seekers to design projects around the enhancement unit. What do you want to see? What is the result of if we change things? So you can launch research on different application and position or whatever. And as I said, in Arizona, we're placing 10 units in Arizona. And 6 of these units are for medical application. The other 4 are part of the space research, which we're inviting the American scientists to join us and the Iranians. And we would like to see what happens if we change some parameters. If you come up with a setup, you want to see what's the effect on the emotion, what's the effect on production. 4 of these units are specifically for research, production of materials, and all sorts of things like this. You can go to Arizona for 2 months, 3 months, whatever, to test.
Well, you had one little brainstorm before the meeting today when you mentioned some sounds that could be played as you get into the unit. Maybe it was kind of a
that
joke,
was offline and all that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
one of our Iranian scientists is a musician, and I've asked him to look into this.
Right. So there might that's part of the environment, right? So
yeah, he started it, and I want to encourage it. Yeah. It's very great. Use the technologies we have, even if some products are on the net, you want to test it for different things. These, if you look, all the 12 here more or less are from practical point of view, from Rick's Wednesday teachings programs, because these are all people who like to play with the screwdrivers, I call them, with Rick. In the universal council.
We're getting away from that now, Mr. Keshe. A lot of it is we don't think about the matter. We try not to think about the matter level stuff in a way, but we still, we're in these matter level bodies, and we still have some desire to play around in different dimensions, and part of that can help others to get to their next step. So this is all part of it, I guess. Same as all the products that come from the Keshe Foundation, it's all helps to everyone to get to the next step in their evolution, to elevate. It's kind of the name of the game, I think.
Yeah, but it'll good to see what the what do you call it? knowledge seekers in Universal Council will do, and what ideas they come on the spiritual level, on the soul level, they want to research and see or do theoretical research.
Yes, that's right. We need more input. We need
Yeah, different topics.
Yep.
As I said, we might have some news for you very soon regarding other aspects of the global operation and facilitating these things. Is there anything else, or
I
I
know you
have to travel. I have to travel. Yes, I don't have time. As I said, in past few weeks, you've seen us. We're traveling around the world. We travel to do a lot of other things, and I give my best wishes and a beautiful Christmas for those who believe in the path of Christ on Wednesday. On the meet next Thursday, which is a Boxing Day, and as you know, Boxing Day in Christian calendar is when you put a box to give to those who served you during the year. The tradition of the Boxing Day is that you leave a box for a postman outside to thank you for all the posts delivered. You leave a box for a milkman outside as a gift in it, and it's known as a Boxing Day. It's the day when you thank those who served you during the year. We hope we can do this next week to those who serve the foundation. And it's not as you box it, you thank them. And let's see what we can have, what we can do, and how we can do with it. Anything else? Or we say goodbye.
Always more, but we have to let you go, Mr. Kish. So thank you so much for today's
Thank you indeed.
Teaching.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for all your support. And we hope we start a new cycle today to stop the wars, to start teaching the new peace, and showing the tools which can be used to create pleasure for man. All came in one teaching.
Yes,
thank you very much.
One comment before you go from Shine in the Q&A, who says, I used this technology with the African swine fever and it worked. So that's a testimonial.
Yes, we know.
Message before you go. Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, and goodbye.
Okay. All right. If there's any other announcements, now would be the time. We've got the holiday for the private teachings, and there won't be any One Nation broadcast for next week, but there will be the Cash Plasma Reactor Group on Wednesday at 7 a.m. And of course, the 308th Knowledge Seekers Workshop next Thursday on December 27th. No, 26th. Is there anything else, Ella, from your end that you wanted to present or announce before we wrap up here today? Or anyone else? There's a couple of questions that I suggested can be carried on to next week. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up for today then. So thank you everybody for attending. Just a second, I hear the magic bell ringing here, so okay, we're good. Thank you everybody for attending.